in fact, one of your countrymen, a very famous man, is one of the guests of honour here. And I said, his name is Roger da Costa. And they went, wow, yes, Roger da Costa. That wouldn't happen in Great Britain. You could say Graham Noyce, you know, or anybody to some British people, and they wouldn't necessarily know unless they were motocross fans. So it is quite different in different places, and it was fabulous to speak to that couple and find that they knew you. But getting back to your early career, and something you might enjoy tomorrow, we have a trial as well as a motocross tomorrow, and we have a very famous Yorkshireman here. You've met him, Bill Wilkinson, the last British rider on a British machine to win the famous Scottish 6-day trials. But Roger, you started off in your real early youth doing a bit of trials riding. Can you tell us about that, and if you think it was beneficial to your motocross career?
Yeah, actually I did start with motocross, and at that time motocross was the Belgium, the season started usually towards the end of March, and by mid-September it was over. And then we had trials in the winter. And after my first season of riding motocross, going out pretty much every week and preparing for it, I felt I needed to do something with motorcycles, and so I started to ride trials also. And yes, trials I feel did help me in developing a good sense of to find traction. Our trials were usually always in the rain or snow, and so it was. I'm sure it was beneficial to my motocross career. And then in Belgium, about in the 70s was probably the best decade in motocross for our sport. With Joel and then me and several other champions that followed, it became kind of not like soccer, but we became basically the number 3 sport after soccer and bicycle racing. Bicycle racing is very big also in Belgium. But when I grew up, the riders I looked up to were mostly British and Swedish.
Yes. So
you guys have a big history, and you had a lot of manufacturers, and Jeff Smith was always very often in Belgium. Smith, Burton, Lampkin, the Rickman brothers. There was the biggest who I became good friends with, and then later Graham, and so.
You make reference to your how you were impressed by Swedish riders like Sten London, people like that.
Yeah, Sten London, I was really in awe of his skills, and also how he prepared his bike. He did a lot of the work himself and made a lot of things himself, and he was also, when I was a young kid going to the races and just starting to learn little things. I remember one day he was at an international race in Belgium, and I was watching what he was doing, standing next to his bike, and he started talking to me just like, treating me like I was important. And it was really nice, and I always continue to admire him. Yeah.
So you were just as impressed back then by Sten London as we all are by you guys today. So it's a very similar thing. I don't know if you've had a chance to look at the exhibition of bikes next door.
Yeah, I've been in there. Yeah.
Did you see the Lito?
Yeah, I saw the Lito.
Yeah, and the Headland?
The Headland, yeah.
Those lovely bikes belong to a scrambler from Cheshire, Peter Hollinshead, who's in the audience tonight.
Yeah.
And he's made a really good job of building that Lito. And one of these days we'll hope to see him out with it at Drumlanrig.
Yeah, I saw a lot of some interesting road race bike and a road bike. That Rudge is a very interesting bike. And it's cool to see all these things.
Yeah, thank you, Roger. Quick question, given the popularity of motocross in Belgium, what we would really call your national circuit, which is no longer used, the Citadel at Namur.
Yeah.
Did you like that track?
I love that track. It was my favorite track, and I really liked it. Yeah.
Fantastic. I need to quickly put that same question to Graham. Graham, did you enjoy racing at the Citadel at Namur?
Yes, I did very much. It was a fantastic event. I mean, you've got 30,000 people. What a fantastic event. I mean, I was telling something the other day, you get the start, which I would say that 4 or 5 in from the right hand side of the grass, correct? Right, there's, you got swept in the first corner, and then if you jumped out that hole in the first place, you had tears in your eyes, because it was fantastic. All the spectators that were on that ride then was brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. What a track, yes.
Was it, I'm right in thinking, a fairly partisan audience? Really, the Belgians all waving the Belgian flags and...
Yes, of course. I mean, I was very lucky because I lived in Belgium, but I had a very, very good support people in Belgium, such as Brian and Heikki and Roger, but we had a fantastic crew, and it was really good. But they were true supporters and some genuine friends. You know,
Yeah.
They were good.
Yeah. Brad, we need to ask Brad the same question. The legendary Citadel at Namur.
Hell no. It was a great event, and it was, for the spectators, it was wonderful, but for the riders, it was the most dangerous track on the circuit. And it was, it was at the end of the season too, so the points were tight, and whoever was going for the championship, the points were crucial, so the track was very dangerous, but you had to really race for a championship right down to the end, so it was pretty hard to come out of there with points and not get hurt and save a championship or win a championship. Graham did really well there when he won his championship in '79, so I think he clinched it there, so that's why he likes it, but a lot of us don't. I didn't get to ask my question.
No, sorry, yeah, of course. I do apologise, folks. It's all that dust I've eaten today. We didn't let Brad answer the question what he'd like to ask some of the guys here. So, fire ahead, Brad. Tell us.
Speaking of tracks, anybody know Farley Castle?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you know the track. You come up and there's a left-hand turn and then the finish flag, right? There's some grandstands and you turn left and then the guy's there with the flag. So Graham, in 1982, did you think you were going to get passed on the last corner of the last lap and lose that overall race at Farley Castle, or did you know I was going to do that to you?
There's a lot of answers to this question. I'm very good at the start. I mean, Luxembourg back in 81, 82. No, it's after 69, 82. Yeah. When you start, well, I don't want to say this, but it all goes back. I mean, I thought, I was struggling in Luxembourg because I didn't get a good qualifying time, and I just couldn't get it together. And I start on the right hand side, about 8 in from the right hand side, and I was 23rd on the start line, so I was completely to the left. And I thought, I don't know. So anyway, as I got this long area up to the start line, and then Brad pulled